Hello and welcome back to FPL with Old Man Phil. And welcome to Game Week 13's preview. And if you are new to the channel, do all that stuff people tell you to do with the subscribe button and like, etc, and help the channel to grow. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at how I'm going to set my team up and the transfers I've made for Game Week 13. And also, we're going to be looking at 6 players who really should be in anybody's team in the coming game weeks. And then finally, we'll be predicting the scores for all the games in the coming game week. But first, let's have a quick look at what I've done for the team in Game Week 13. Well, I've pretty much left it as it is, except that I've made one transfer. I wasn't too comfortable with having the double Chelsea defence, so I've taken out Chilwell and I've replaced him with Alexander-Arnold, and that always was the plan, so that my defence will consist in the main of Cancelo, Arnold and James, and that's a pretty handy defence. And so we have those 3 at the back with White, who's home to Newcastle, and I'm hoping for a clean sheet there, and Guaita in goal at home to Aston Villa, and that looks promising too. In midfield I have Jota, Salah, Smith Rowe and Rafinha, and I'm hoping that Rafinha will be fit to play in the coming game week. And then up front I have Kane and Tony, and the captain for this week, well, there's no other choice. We have to play Salah as captain. On the bench I've got Antonio and Livramento, who both have tricky games this week, and Sissoko. And I'm fairly happy with that team at the moment, but as we'll see now, there'll probably be some movement and some transfers in the coming game weeks. And so here are 6 players, 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 attackers, who I am seriously considering bringing into the side, and I believe should be in anybody's team. So let's start with a couple of must-have defenders. We have Reece James of Chelsea, and I believe Tariq Lamptey of Brighton will be a very useful asset as the season now progresses. Reece James already in my side. He's already been there for a few game weeks. He's in scintillating form, and he's pretty much on a par with Trent at about $1.5 million cheaper. He has 4 goals, 4 assists. His form at the moment is phenomenal at 13.3, and he is owned by just over a quarter of the entire base of football managers. For which game week it doesn't really matter. I think he just should be in people's teams at the moment, and he's certainly in mine. Tariq Lamptey has no goals, no assists, and his form is only 2.7, but he's been out with injury. He's a very popular manager's favourite. He's very cheap, and Brighton's fixtures do not look that bad, and as he would probably be a bench player, I think he would be a fantastic asset at 4.4 million. He gets himself into some very forward positions and will produce a return or 2 as the season progresses. Now let's look at a couple of midfielders who will come into my team very shortly. Bernardo Silva, Manchester City, he seems to be nailed on by Pep Guardiola and doesn't seem to get much of this Pep roulette going on for him. He's priced at 7.1. He looks like a bargain. He has 4 goals, 2 assists, and is in reasonable form at the moment, and is very low owned by only 9.1 of the manager base. I think he probably will go from good to much better over the coming game weeks with Manchester City's run of fixtures. And Jarrod Bowen, I've been talking about him for a long time. He's very decent priced at 6.4, and I will be bringing him in for Rafinha very shortly, around about game week 16. He has 2 goals, 6 assists. He's everywhere up top for West Ham, and he's getting himself into some very, very dangerous positions, and he is going to be an asset. His form has not dipped under 6 since I first looked at him about 6 game weeks ago, and he probably is someone everybody needs to have in their side at this particular time, or at least from game week 16. And then two forwards. Romelu Lukaku is about to make his return for Chelsea, and Josh King of Watford. Now, my forwards have been a real issue for me of late, and none of them have been producing any returns. Tony, Kane, Antonio, none of them are producing any sort of return at all. Lukaku coming back is likely through Chilwell and Reece James is likely to be getting a lot of service at the moment, and I just think he will be a great replacement for Harry Kane. And as Tony is out of form, I've been watching Josh King of late, and priced at 5.6 million, $1 million cheaper than Tony. He's got 4 goals and 3 assists. His form is reasonable at 6, and he is not owned by many managers at all, only 4.1%. And from game week 16 to 23, Watford's fixtures look very, very nice indeed, and he probably at some point over the next few weeks will be finding his way into my team. Moving on to the score predictions for this week. Arsenal are the first match against Newcastle, and I think Arsenal will probably bounce back from their heavy defeat last week, and I think they will probably beat Newcastle by 2 goals to 0. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, this is quite tough to call. Both are about evenly matched, but I'm going to say the home advantage will pay for Crystal Palace and they'll beat Aston Villa by 2 goals to 1. Liverpool should beat Southampton quite comfortably, and I'm going to say Liverpool 3, Southampton 1. And Norwich and Wolves is a tough one. I think Norwich will continue to improve over the coming weeks, and I'm going to say that this one will be 1-1. And moving to Brighton and Leeds, Brighton defensively will be too good for Leeds, I think, and they will beat Leeds by 1 goal to 0. And Brentford against Everton, there will be goals in this game, I think, but they're 2 very similar sides, and I think that will finish 2-2. And Burnley versus Spurs. Spurs will continue slowly to revive under Conte. I'm going to go for an away win at Burnley 1, Spurs 2. Leicester against Watford. Both teams, Leicester are out of form at the moment. Watford have had a very hard run of fixtures. I'm going to call this one a 1-1 draw. And Manchester City versus West Ham. I'm not sure that this is going to be a heavy defeat for West Ham. They're not going to lie down for Manchester City, and I think Manchester City will win though, but it will only be around about 2-1. And Chelsea against Manchester United, even if they bring a new manager in at the moment, I can't see Manchester United coming away with anything from Chelsea. It won't be a walkover for Chelsea. United will be defensively pretty good, but I think Chelsea will win by 2 goals to 0. And that is my predictions for this week, and hopefully I will do a lot better than I did in my very miserable game week last week when I only picked up 6 points. And so that's it for this preview of Game Week 13. And if you enjoyed the video, give us a big thumbs up. And if you like this kind of content, then hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you'll be updated when I upload future videos. And all that remains to be said, really, is good luck to everybody in Game Week 13. And I hope everybody gets a hat full of points and returns from the players in their starting 11s. Good luck, everybody. It's over to Lady Luck now, and we'll see you for the results next week.